there's a role for the church to meet together and pray, because we're not designed to live life on our own and struggle through these things.
Well, I think there's some real power in a group of people praying together, especially when you really come into agreement on something.
Yeah, so recently I've started going to the 6 a.m. prayer meetings on Tuesdays here in the church. And it's a bit hard getting up at 6 a.m. Especially when it's cold. But it is such a rewarding time coming together and just interceding and praying. It's an extremely special time with the Lord.
So a time that really sticks out to me of praying with others actually happened in life group. Our leader, Liam, came into the night and a couple of hours before sensed through prayer that God was wanting him to scrap the study that he had planned, and then to do this different kind of more informal but also really beneficial night. We'd each get into smaller groups, and then we would talk to each other a bit about what was going on in each other's lives. And then we'd split up from those groups and go off by ourselves and really try to seek God for the other people that we chatted with. And that could look like getting a Bible verse, a picture, or just getting a word of encouragement for them. And I think, it was just really incredible to selflessly seek God for someone else. It was just an incredible night where I think everyone was really encouraged and uplifted by each other.
People would see prayer quilts go into the foyer and think, these quilts are great and it's great to pray. But in the Prayers and Squares group, one of the things that we say is it's all about the prayers. It's not about the quilts. It's all about the prayers. And there's something about knowing that there's a whole group of you praying for the same thing that's really powerful. And I think other people knowing that as well, knowing that there's a group of people who really care and are praying for them.
It releases God's power when you pray. And when you're releasing that power into somebody else's life who needs it, I think it's a really important thing to do.
And, especially here at Syndal, it's such a unique church where we have so many different people from so many different backgrounds, and getting to just draw from that incredible diversity to pray for each other and really build each other up from, all of our different life experiences is such an incredible opportunity. And that's one of the reasons I really, appreciate Church at Prayer.
In the season after our first miscarriage, we sought prayer in every form that we could from others in our lives, our family, our close friends, our life group. But one powerful way that we experienced prayer with others was through Church at Prayers. There were several Church at Prayers that happened in that season, and we went to them together. And each time there was prayer available with the prayer team, we went over.
Yeah, I can remember going the first time. I felt really nervous and apprehensive. And then we got there and I was expecting to share about my journey and what had been happening. But instead they just said, okay, go and sit down. We're going to listen to God for what he wants us to tell you. And I just kind of like the nerves and everything just went away and I just sat there, and that was really nice.
Praying for me is not always easy, and it doesn't come naturally at times. I mean, I know there's been times where I've just said, Lord, I've got nothing, it's the tank's empty. And that's where I've relied on, I've got a number of people in my life that have been go-to people that I've said, can you pray for me in this certain situation? And have noticed results, you just a little bit more spring in your step. And so that praying not only for yourself or praying for others, but praying, casting the net out a bit wider and have groups of people pray. I guess that's where it's been an encouragement for me. And having experienced that, then, I can take on board to say, it does make a difference to pray for other people in groups, to encourage people. And I'm not one for, reciting long, eloquent prayers. They're just prayers of a tradesman. And so they're a bit, rough around the edges. But I think, God hears everyone's prayers.
a recent church I was in, the pastor rang one night and called us to come and pray together because a young couple in the church, she was due to have a baby in a few weeks, was seriously ill with the bird flu. The medical staff could do nothing more and said, we just need a miracle. So the church came and prayed late that evening. The next day we heard things had turned the corner and she was going to come through. Now the medical staff said, we have no answer really, just a miracle. And that got through to the press, who interviewed this couple, who then shared their experience with their testimony. Now that was shared with the church, and that's a faith-building time for the church. We don't have all the answers to why prayers are or aren't answered, but often they're faith-building things for the whole church, and when we're a part of it, it's just so encouraging.